Hello guys, it is Danny here again, and today this is another episode of League Racing in Apex Online Racing, and as you can see we are in Monza, and without further ado I would like to show you the fastest lap of my qualifying session. As you can see, my fastest lap so far is a 125.3, which is about 6 seconds of the pace. That means I couldn't finish any of my run in the first attempt, and now the quali ends and I have 2 more chances, and this is one of them. And basically I want to finish this run and after back off, because you know I don't want to start from very worn out tires. But arriving to the first part of the Lesmo, I hit the grass and I lost 1.5 tenths. So this was the moment I knew that whatever lap it will be, I will try it another time. But as I told, this is my fastest lap, so my other attempt didn't succeed neither, unfortunately. My second stacker is still a purple one, which is a bit strange, but I guess the front runners didn't set a good second sector so far, but there is still 2 minutes left from the quali, so they can start a lap and do their best. And as you can see, it's a 129.7, and it's basically the end of a 7. And here I'm much more confident through Rog. I gained a 10th on my last lap, and here I didn't hit the grass and I gained another 10th. And it looked great. I thought I can maybe improve and gain 1 or 2 positions, but arriving to Ascari I wanted a little bit too much. And I cut that chicane. I left the track by 4 wheels, and that's why it's only a P6, and my lap was 3 tenths slower compared to my last year's pole time. But the lights are out and away we go. And I didn't have the best start ever, and as you can see, Marcel Kiefer and FabRacer started to battle with each other. I was a little bit blocked by my teammate. I was desperately fighting for the inside line, but the next corner it turns for an outside line for me, and that's why Hamilton could eventually pass me. And in the front you don't see, but Marcel Kiefer in the Force India did make a move on FabRacer, who started from second, but now he fell back to the 3rd position. And Foton, my teammate, tried to do a dive bomb on Steve, and Loche Dornier then were battling with some other guy, and he tried to brake as late as he could, but didn't hit me, and we didn't have any damage. And Foton hit the grass in the first part of the Lesmo, and that's why he was overtaken by Hamilton, and now we are side by side, and I try to brake as late as I can, but of course he is ahead, so I have to leave him the space, and he carried an amazingly nice speed through Ascari, so I couldn't make the move stick. But I'm in the slipstream, I press rich mode, I try my best, I dive to the inside in Parabolica, the last corner of this circuit, and I just try to make Foton to have a worse exit, and I'm very close. He defends the inside line. I tried some kind of dummy dop, or I don't know how it goes, but now I'm on the outside, and I'm not brave enough to brake late, because Hamilton was still ahead, and if he brakes very early I may have had damaged my front wing, so that's why I'm behind Foton. And meanwhile I just show some action from behind. Actually you can see a McLaren Honda was overtaken by one of the Ferraris, and it was just nice action, so I edited it in, because we were in the slipstream and we couldn't really do anything against each other. In the first 6 we just followed, but Graham Carroll tries his best with the softer compounds of the tires to get past ACR team, and now he's on the outside and he sticks his car there. He may have a better exit from this corner, but no team's slots in front. But Graham now has the slipstream, but team defends the inside line. No, he actually lets the inside line, so Graham has got a freeway with the fresher and softer tires, and now he's on the inside, but the next corner, as it happened to me at the start, it turns to an outside line, and that's why maybe it's better to approach the first corner from the outside as Team did than trying to dive from the outside inside. We are in lap 7 and basically nothing happened. I'm in P7 and nobody overtook anyone. We just follow each other. And at this moment, you don't see because I edited that out, but Carrix actually left the session. That means that we have no slipstream anymore. And that was the moment I thought that I will do a very aggressive strategy because it will be insanely hard to overtake. And in lap 8, I come for a soft compound of tires, not even mediums. And meanwhile at the front, FabRacer, who tries to undercut Marcel Kiefer, went for the mediums, as you can see Hamilton behind went for the mediums, and I actually was able to pass him, which is like insane. But there is FabRacer just in front of me. He used to be front as well, so it's not a problem. He didn't undercut me, but he pit like 1 lap earlier, and his plan is to undercut Marcel Kiefer and maybe Brandon Lee in the lead, but he was way ahead. But all in all, who pit in lap 7 or who pit in lap 8 always put the medium tires, and in lap 9 nobody pit from the first runners. All of the first runners believe that to complete the race with the soft compound, so the middle compound available, you need to come to the pit in lap 10. So actually I really need to consider saving my tires, but as I set the fastest lap, I undercut Steve, I undercut Foton, my teammate, and I'm very close with Marcel Kiefer, who was provisionally in the 2nd place of the race, but now he has been undercut by FabRacer, but FabRacer has an older and a softer compound, so we will surely attack him, and you will see how our fight goes, but it will be insanely hard even with the pace advantage that we have with Marcel, because as I mentioned, Carrix left the lobby, so there is no slipstream anymore. And editing to the video, and we are in lap 13, and Marcel Kiefer tries to attack FabRacer, who goes to defend the inside line, but now he closes the door, and Marcel actually hit the grass just a very little bit, but they didn't lose any parts of their cars or any serious things. But it's getting intense, it's getting very close, and I'm behind them, and I try my best to be the loafing 3rd and maybe gain 1 or even 2 positions on them while they are fighting. I try to focus on all my exits because actually I play with a very low downforce setup, and I just try my best with fuel I have, and there is no slipstream, but I think if I have a very good exit, I will be able to overtake at least 1 car. And as you can see, it's a very close action, and Marcel tries to overtake even in the 2nd sector, heading to the 3rd sector, and I look up a bit, and Marcel again had a very good exit, and now he tries it from the outside, but in Lesmo 1 he has like no chance to do that overtake, and he is very close, and he will surely open his DRS. He had a better exit this time as well, but FabRacer defends the inside line, and Marcel Kiefer, he is in the slipstream, but there is no slipstream, so he can't get any closer, and look how close he is to FabRacer ahead. He did risk his front wing, but he's a very skilled and talented pilot, so an amazing action by him, and congratulations for making it that accurate. And now he maybe thinks about a dive bomb in Parabolica, but FabRacer goes for a very early apex, and maybe it compromises his exit. And that's why Marcel Kiefer is all along FabRacer again. He can open DRS and there is no slipstream, but it doesn't matter because they are already side by side. I try to brake now as late as I can, and I try to do a switchback move at least on one of them, and Marcel Kiefer did pass FabRacer, and now I potentially have a better exit. I put my fuel to the maximum level, so rich mode, and from the outside with a little bit of a better exit and a better top speed, I am able to pass FabRacer and it's a third place for me. Actually it's a P6 now, but we are theoretically in the third place because who started with the harder compounds have to make another pit stop and we won't pit again. But as I told, everybody in front came in lap 10 while I came in lap 8, which is only 2 laps of difference, but it's a 50% race, so if we convert it to a 100% one, it means 4 laps in the tires. And it will be very hard to manage because this track has heavy brakings, easy to lock up, very hard exits, high curbs, so anytime you lose the back end, you worn out your tires. And I was lucky because I always got DRS from Marcel Kiefer and it was very nice to follow him, and I think if there was slipstream I may have been able to try to make a pass, because I did the perfect line behind him. I saved my tires, and as we are just scrolling through the laps you can see that these chicanes I take it better and I have better exits, better cornering speeds even with the worst tires, and I don't lose the back end. So actually I wished at that time that there was slipstream because it would have been amazing to see our fight, and now it was potentially a very good fight, but unfortunately a mistake by the game or by a leaving player stole that from us. But we are already in lap 21 and my tires really start to go off, and FabRacer, who, yes, he pitted 1 lap earlier than me, but he has the harder compound, so lower tire wear, and in the last laps it will be extremely hard to defend him, because when I will have 60% tires or something like that, he will have 40% tires, because the harder compound is slower in the first part of a stint, but it doesn't wear out that fast. And as you can see, FabRacer hits me by a little bit, and he is now on the outside, which would turn into the inside in the next corner, but luckily, as I have mentioned, I have a very decent top speed, and that's why I can defend him and I can close all the doors even if he has the better exits with the better tires. In Lesmo 2 he surely won't try any attempt, and I just try to focus on the exits, and I put my brake bias to 56% while 52 would be the ideal in terms of pace. Speaking of in this game, but I really need to save my tires, and again FabRacer have a much better run out of this corner, but you don't see from his screen, but he actually has to put his car to standard mixture because he was down on fuel by about 0.30 laps, so nearly 30% of the lap was lacking. Speaking of his fuel, but again he tries it from the outside and you can see that he can brake later, but luckily at the end of the straights, because of my good top speed, I always have the track position. And it's a little bit harder because now I don't get DRS from Marcel Kiefer, because with this battling he just left us, but I try to stay calm, I try to put the fuel to lean in the middle sector and go in reach where he could open DRS and he potentially could have a chance. And arriving to lap 27, FabRacer got a penalty. Jeff told that, so I was extremely calm and I just wanted to save myself from a penalty, because at this moment, as you can see the map, there were a few other cars behind us and I don't know who they were, but I just wanted to make sure that I get the podium on this race. And basically this was the video. A huge congratulations to Brandon Lee, who got the 6th win of not the season in a row, and is the 7th win on the season. Me and FabRacer has won 1 win, against Brandon Lee, and Marcel Kiefer came to home in the 2nd place, so amazing job again by eSports and Cards, and we head to Singapore in the next one. Thanks for watching, bye bye.